So it's been a while, and it finally came in, last week. I'm finally finished reading it. Hooky, Volume 2. Remember, I collected Hooky Volume 1, and I enjoy it for if you were outside perspective when it comes to reading these webtoon-like books. And I have to say, there's a pattern going on here when it comes to these Hooky books. The first one ended very bitter, very bleak. And this one is no different. It ended bleak. I tell you, the word Hooky, you even forget the reason why it's called Hooky sometimes. Because it all started with these two twins decided to skip school and learn magic. They missed the bus, decided to learn magic their own way, and things got worse, not realizing the secret war that's happening around the world between kingdoms of men versus witches. The witches looking for the next witch king, and the kingdoms are finding ways to suppress the witches, while some are trying to find a way to build a bridge between the witches and men, but it's just not working out. Both sides have their pros and cons. There are those who want to build bridges, while those who want to burn bridges. All and there's in the crosshairs between it. And these two twins' fates are in between of it. Darwin and Donnie just trying to find some sort of balance between the two. They're living with their master who can do clairvoyance, but yet also living with a human princess and a boy named Patrick who somewhat just found out he too can use some sort of magic. They get involved with other kingdoms, princes and princesses, and wars, attacks, espionage, and dark secrets are being used. If you remember my last review, Doran is very skilled at magic, while Donnie is good at magic, but not the kind of magic she wants. More like she's good at curses than anything else, in a way. And it shows how the kids are on the run. Some are out to get their heads to kill them, and others are to capture them because they believe that they're the prophecy children, the ones who are destined to rule the witches and enslave mankind. Well, anyways, they get involved with other characters traveling to distant lands, discovered about themselves, and rescue their other friends. Well, the other side characters go through their own development, like Princess Monica and Patrick, and all the others, just trying to find themselves in this chaotic world. It is good with development in foresight and insight as well. Plus, some interesting foreshadowing that's to happen, and I believe is to be the following volume, which number 3 will probably be the final volume of the series. And I do like it. The artwork is nice, and so when something terrible does happen, it really impacts. I don't know why, but when you have that cute artwork and something terrible happens, and you're not expecting it to happen, even though you're used to it. You know, you're watching When They Cry or something, or Modoga Magica, and the artwork is cute and nice looking, but so when something very terrible happens, it really hits you. It stays in your memory because of how the artwork is. You know, it's like you're not expecting it, even though you should be used to it. It gets you anyways, which is always a nice little effect that the artists themselves have put onto the book. Now, my issues with the book is the same issues I had with the last book. I have found quite a good amount of spelling grammars, grammar, like sentences not doing very well, misused words, and even spelling errors. Oh Lord, spelling errors. Not to mention, my sister also loves this book too. And by the way, she never read the webtoon, by the way. And she reading it, and I told her what's her opinion on it, and she said herself that some scenes felt like they were skipped. She felt like stuff was missing. Like Moist Critical said in his review of Promised Neverland Season 2, even though he's never read the book, he can feel that a lot of stuff was skipped out on, even without reading the source material. This itself, even though it's a book, is not the true source material. The webtoons you read for free, by the way, on the app, is the true source material. So that being said, you gotta put into this perspective, people who buy this book are those, I guess you'll come across and say, oh, this looks interesting, or those who are fans of the book, like myself, are big fans of this. So as a fan, I really do wish for the author to have the best care and the best work as possible when it comes to the product. No spelling grammars, no poorly paced pages and stuff like that. You would want that for them. And I'm sure they want that for their work as well. So when you're reading this and you're a webtoon reader, such as I, you're like, am I getting my money's worth? Is all I'm saying. I'm reading this book, which I had to pay for, by the way. I had to pay for, which I don't mind paying for, which was like $25. $25. Compared to the app, where it's free. And you get all the content and more. You get the bonus content, the fan work, all that stuff. You get all of it on the app. So when you pick this up and it's cheaper, and it's more expensive, you're getting less than that. It makes you wonder, did you make a good purchase of this book? I'm doing it because I want to support the author. I like to see their next work. But it's still put into question, is this really worth it in a way? If you're a webtoon reader, I guess you would have your collection, but all honesty, it's not, I hate to say it, but it's not really worth it. If you're skipping out on content, for instance, when we meet the two witches that are like doing dark magic and stuff, and they actually first interaction with them was in the forest as they were doing some thing while they were naked. You don't get to see that. You don't see much of those two witches at all in the book. They're there and they're not. You completely forget about them. There's other scenes that are also within the book that they cut out on. It's like in the last book, they cut out on scenes and you can tell that it's been cut out. Like, were they just here and now they're not? Things are just skipped. And as for someone who reads it and someone who doesn't read it, I understand it's okay if someone who does read the source material and they see it and they can feel it. But if someone who has never read the webtoons can pick up this book right here and they can read it and they say, a lot of stuff felt like it's been cut out without ever reading the original webtoon, then you know we have a problem here. You have a big problem. It's because it's cut out. It's not good. I love the story and I love the artwork and the characters and everything. But as a customer buying this book at full price, it just doesn't feel worth it. It's nice to have my collection, but at the same time, it's like, am I getting my money's worth here, man? And I'm not, unfortunately. Sure, you get the special stuff, but that's it. That's really it. And this one wasn't that surprising, though. Last one, you got a pen, a bookmark, and all that other stuff. It was nice to get, but you don't get that one in this one, unfortunately, and that's just the truth. But like I said, this one ends on an even darker ending. So it just keeps getting darker and darker, and not just by the cover, but it just gets darker and darker. These kids are going through a lot of stuff that they should not have gone through yet. And all because they decided to skip school. That should be a lesson here, kids. Nonetheless, I still enjoy the story. After all, this was my very first webtoon I have ever read. Was this? That and Abide by the Wind, I believe, were my first two webtoons, but this one was the very first. And so it'll always have a place in my heart. So, of course, I'll buy Volume 3, and of course, I'll review it. But I just really wish that I'm wondering if the other webtoon creators are having the same problem with their work when it comes to adapting it to book. Heck, even when it comes to adapting it to anime. I know I watched Tower of God. I tried watching God of High School, but that was a major disappointment. Don't even start about Noblesse. Oh. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. You can already see the book on Amazon and Walmart and stuff. It's already there at your stores. So if you're interested in picking it up, it's definitely a read. But let me know if you do pick it up and you read it and you feel like something's missing. Let me know. I really do want to know about that because I really do care about this series very, very much. So that, I'll leave it here for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, share, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on anime. Signing out.